Hello folks, this is Rushdown here with another video, and in this video I want to go over punishing moves without knowing frame data. I'll be talking about whether a move gives the opponent the advantage, if it's safe or unsafe, and the differences between those three. Many players have the misconception that you have to use frame data to know what you can or can't punish, and that's not always true. And most cases it's not true. And here's the reasons why you would want to do this without frame data. If you're new and you haven't learned it, or if the frame data hasn't become available yet. Some fighting games, in fact I would say most fighting games, do not include frame data when the game first releases. So I want to show new and advanced players how to actually go through and learn more about moves on block in the training room without any knowledge of the frame data beforehand. So let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're in the corner. It's really easy to determine if you can punish a move if you're in the corner, because that's 9 times out of 10 this knowledge will be useful, very useful, if your back is in the corner. So first thing you want to do is set the dummy to be blocking always and to block everything, and then you want to make a real quick record. So let's get into it. I'm going to set the dummy to do something obviously unsafe, and then I'm going to get into showing you how to determine it is unsafe. So let's set the dummy to do it. You see how long it took to recover before the dummy could do something else? See how long it's taking her to get back to her normal starting position? It's taking a while, so it's obviously unsafe. See that? The dummy could not block. So let's do something a little bit harder to determine. I've already shown you what it looks like for an opponent to do something that's really unsafe on block and that you can easily punish. Before moving on and seeing something that's a little bit more ambiguous, let's see if we can find a better button to punish what the dummy is doing on block. This is really good for new players to understand and determine the most optimal punish. So let's get into it. Let's set the dummy to do it again. Okay, cool. So now let's get into it. Let's make sure that she's doing it properly. Okay, perfect. So she's gonna keep doing it. Alright, so we know that the A button punished it. Let's do it again. Okay, so the B button punishes it. Okay, so that may have just been a counter hit. Okay, look, a reversal punished that. Okay, so that was a little bit more ambiguous on the 5C, but we know for sure that that a standing A and a standing B will punish that on block. So you just go through heavier buttons when you see something that's unsafe and see if you can punish it better, even if you know it's unsafe. So let's get into the next one, showing the opponent, showing something that's really unsafe, but doesn't really look unsafe. So let's talk about moves that are unsafe but does not look unsafe. So first, there's 2 questions you want to ask yourself. When you try to punish the dummy, could you? If the dummy blocked, then it's probably not safe. You should try it multiple times just to verify it. But if the dummy gets hit, then the move is not safe despite looking like it is. So let's do it. So as you saw, I gave the dummy a little hop just to get myself ready to block. And then the first time I didn't get the punish quite correctly. But then the second time the dummy did the move, I got the punish. So it's a good sign that the move is unsafe on block. We've already set the dummy to block everything so that we got our punish. But now we're going to go into something a little bit more advanced, and that's actually determining if a move that is safe is actually, will it give their opponent the advantage, or is it just safe? Let's get into it. So for this one, I went to Velvet because she has the perfect move set to determine if a move is safe or unsafe, or if it gives the advantage. So let's start with the first move. Let's make a recording. Let's make the dummy do a quick hop into another move. Okay, cool. So that's the first thing we had the dummy do. So now watch what happens when you try to punish the dummy. Okay. So. Excuse you. So what did you see? We could not punish it. So let's find out if it gives the opponent the advantage or not. So for this recording, I set the dummy to do a little hop and then to do a move and then mash afterwards. What we're trying to determine is if we get hit constantly and we can't do anything, that we're unsafe, like that the opponent actually had the advantage. So let's go into it. Okay, so the dummy could not do anything. They immediately got hit, so they're unsafe. So for the second recording, I set the dummy to do a different version of the same move and then mash afterwards. Let's see what happens this time. Okay, I got hit. So what do you think caused that? It's probably a good chance that that move actually has the advantage on block. And that's a really good way to determine if a move gives you advantage or not, or your opponent the advantage or not. So I want to do something a little bit more advanced. I want to determine just how unsafe this move is. So first thing we're going to do is determine that, hey, I can't hit them with my fastest button, and my slowest buttons probably won't come out fast enough. So let's do this. We got this. Okay. So we can't do this. Let's set the dummy to go ahead and do it. See what happened when I tried to move forward? It recovered too fast. So the move is unsafe, but not that unsafe. So for a quick little recap, we went through and looked at moves that were obviously unsafe on block. You can visually tell. We took a look at a move that can't quite tell if it's unsafe or not without testing it, and we saw how to punish it as well. Then we went through and looked at moves that are unsafe but you can't punish, along with looking at moves that will actually give the opponent the advantage. And I was even able to throw in a little bonus round showing players that just because a move is unsafe doesn't mean that you can punish it in all circumstances. So I'd like for players new and more advanced to go through and test to see what they can find in their favorite fighting games. But if you appreciated the video, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you with the next video. Thank you.